going to talk about your strumming hand, your right hand, all the different things you can do, like claw style. That's where you're using four fingers, not the pinky. And you're going like this with them and thumbing at the same time. And he's going, can you see it? Bump, 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 bump. If you're skilled enough, you can walk a little bass line with your thumb. And when I do that, I'm also putting the fleshy part down like a palm mute, but it's touching the bridge there. See, you don't always do it. Sometimes you're off the string. There, I'm not even touching the string. You can get that angle of my palm. See, not touching, but now here I am touching it. See. It's whatever works comfortable for you. I put it down a lot to give me a little leverage on the pulling of the strings. What else about the right hand there? That's called the what I call the claw style. It's good for jazz because it's like a pianist going pop 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 pop. Same thing. Everything's clawing at the same time. You can also strum. Let's talk a little bit about strumming. I prefer more of a fingernail downstroke and a thumbnail upstroke. Like, let's go to your most important two-chord combo, G to C add 9. Let me take these headphones off. G to C add 9. Now to start, I just have the student just go ahead and put their thumb on the low E and just throw your fingernails. And you're trying to hit all four. Some people keep the first finger up, see, and don't use it. I try to get you to use all four. And notice have the thumb anchored, but then you take the thumb off and put your thumb over the pinky, and then fire them all off one at a time, kind of like, drumming on the table. Just to kind of get you used to throwing the fingers out, see? So it's not all pendulum, up, down, up, down. It's a combination of the wrist turning. See how my wrist is turning? At that speed, I'm not going up, down in a pendulum way. It's a combination now of pendulum and up, down for the wrist. Yeah, I'm going down, up, but I'm also turning the wrist at the same time. And I'm not throwing the fingers out. That's just to kind of throw up that recommendation, just trying to get you used to the idea. So on the upstroke I'm catching my thumbnail. Catching my thumbnail there. Now, I have you start out with just down, 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 down. try and think of the upstroke, the up, because if you notice, you're going down. In order to go down again, you do come back up. So you try not to think about it, it's there. You just kind of get the thumb in close. You see, you can flick it. See how I flick it? Or you can just easily come it back across. But always just go back to down. Down, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you kind of start out down like that. Because eventually, to get on a professional level or a more advanced level of strumming, it's not just quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not just 1 and eighth notes, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you've got to get a 16th note pattern going. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Even on slow songs. Here's a slow song. I'll go slower. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and I hadn't talked about this, but it is also, where do you put your arm on the guitar? If it's a full-size guitar, if it's a full-size acoustic, a lot of times it's right into the fold, but it's never on your bicep. Watch me put it on my bicep. Now it's all funny, and look how far my arm is stuck out there. It's never that. Let me just analyze myself here. Let's see, with this style body. I'm really resting more in front of the fold on this guitar. If I stood up, when I play, you can see, when I stand up, it's on my forearm right there. It's not in the fold. It just depends on your arm length and the size of your body, size of your guitar body, and where you're going to put the palm mute, because palm muting is real important on guitar. That's where you take the fleshy part here and touch the strings. And guitar playing is an art of how well you mute. And we're not going to talk about too much of that right now, other than you've got to mute, especially when you play with a pick. So you can practice your strumming without even making a chord. And before I go to that, the strumming thing, I find students, if you go up high on the guitar, you can see you get that wrist thing going, and to get that flamenco speed you're after, here's a flamenco or a Spanish thing. So I'm getting that wrist turning. There's no pendulum there. If you go up high on your neck, I find the students tend to do better because they don't go so up and down like they've seen. They can stay more with the wristy thing. And yes, I'm using the fingers and the fingernails and the thumbnail. Here it is with a country strum. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Now I'm really accenting the upstroke too. I'm accenting those upstrokes. I'll accent them and you'll see. I'm really digging in there so you see. It's about where you accent the upstroke. But I try and encourage you not to overthink it. You just try and let it happen naturally. You're going to naturally feel where the accent is. So I'll encourage you to go up here. no sound. You can have like drumming, rhymes with strumming. Bump a dump a dum, bump a dump a dum, bump a dump a dum, bump. Here it is with just a strum off. So you see, you can learn to strum. You can strum without making sound. I've thought about inventing a thing. You're driving around in your car, you've got your seatbelt going over you. You can practice your strumming on your seatbelt as you drive because you're not going to go pendulum. You're going to just turn the wrist, and if you've got any type of corrugated edge, I can practice it that way. I used to have a washboard type thing. You get a washboard. If it's got an edge, you can practice on that too. You've kind of, to really master strumming, you've kind of got to be like the kid in school that was always drumming on the desk and bugging everybody. He'd never shut up or never stop drumming on the desk. The same thing, you always got to be looking for ways to, to strum, practice your strumming when you're away from the guitar. You can't always have the guitar with you. Then I'm looking around for something that's got a corrugated edge and I don't see it. So I thought about inventing something. You put it on your guitar, your car seatbelt strap. It's got more like strings on it. You've seen those little short things. You can see them on eBay or Amazon or the music stores in their guitar practice things, and they look like strings. It's just a plastic piece about yay length. You could put that on your strap, on your seatbelt strap. You could practice strumming while you drive around. Or you might just be able to do it with your seatbelt strap the way it is. And, how much time you spend in your car. Let's say you're going to drive 20 minutes. Well, 20 minutes of driving with one hand and strumming on your car seatbelt strap is, you get 20 minutes in. And that's practicing because guitar, it's a two-handed instrument. You can practice it the right hand only. I could just sit here and practice claw style with just open strings. And that claw style, or I could just practice, left hand. I can practice left hand without strumming, just going through the chords. That's G, C add 9, D. And the other chord that fits with that would be E minor 7. 3 and 4 never come up. You just release the tension maybe, but you never do this. You never lift them up in the air because then you'll get all off. So you got G, C add 9, E minor 7, 3 and 4 still down. And when you go to the D, you lift the pinky. Could keep it down. And it's a thumb over double string mute. That string's touching the 6th string and the 5th string to give it a mute. Because in your strum, you might hit those strings. If it's no thumb there to mute, like thumb, if you have your thumb behind, watch this. Now you got 2 open strings. And G, see? G's got that thumb behind it, touching the low E barely, just enough to mute it. And then you go to the C add 9, same thing, my thumb's there. If I didn't have my thumb, then you got to have your middle finger somehow mute that 6th string. Mine's touching a little bit, but it's fingernail. So many songs use G to C add 9. Don't even try and do the other 2. Because what this does, it makes it so, I don't have to look at my left hand anymore. I can watch my right hand and make sure it's correct. moving anything up, moving anywhere up here. I'm just moving these two fingers to the next two strings, and the third and the pinky are staying on the first two strings. So I don't have to look at my left hand. I can watch my right hand to make sure my strumming technique's right. What else? So we covered that four finger claw style because the chords, the jazz chords, are 4 notes only. I'm using all 4 fingers, and I'm using 4 fingers here. And I'm using the side of my thumb. The angle of the camera is not real good with that, but you can see it's like I'm hitchhiking. Got it stuck out there like that. So if I wanted to finger pick it, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there, you can go on the internet. There's some classical guy with like 10 strings, and he's using all 5 fingers here, and he's comping chords with these 3 fingers only, and then the ring finger and his pinky is doing like this thing on the string. He's playing melody with those 2. You want to feel awkward, do try that. There's all kinds of things to do with that right hand. One thing that I like to do with the claw style is do a slappy thing, like on a G. Maybe you've heard that a lot. You're slapping it, and the string is hitting the frets on the fretboard, and I'm catching them all on the way up. I'm going thumb, slap, and then a claw, but I pull up a little, pull off, see? Here's how it looks from this angle. I used it a lot on that old classic song, Dock of the Bay. There's a great song, what was that song? More Than You. I think the band was called Extreme. Listen to that one. It starts out with a little slappy style too, like that. So we've covered claw style with the right hand, flamenco or just strummy, which is the wrist turning. We've covered the slappy style, and then of course 4 finger arpeggios. Like here's a D chord. So I'm going thumb, pointer, middle, ring. Not using the pink. There, I'm skipping the first finger note because it's a five note chord, and missing that one. Now, if I want to add the pinky, I could get it. There, I got all 5 notes. That last one was gotten with the pinky. That's difficult, for a newbie or a novice. You can also strum with just your thumb. The note still gets down to that 16th note thing. 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, and a 4 E, and a 1 E, and a 2 E, and the upstroke is accented there. 1 E. All those accents are the up. Those are all the upstrokes. Okay, you could also do a little embellishing with your G chord. I'm using the thumb and the pointer for that. But more for lead playing, like a country thing, Here's a country lick in D. Then I'm reverting back to three-finger banjo style. Is I'm using just the thumb in the middle, which comes from the Hal Leonard Malagueña. You're just using thumb, and you're keeping your middle finger on the high E while your thumb goes down the strings. I'll do it slow. So it's an E chord, but you're only using the upper partials, the upper four strings. String 4, string 2, string 3, string 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2 with your thumb. Your middle finger staying on the high E. So you see it's that thumb and middle finger thing, which you can play licks with when you learn to play little lead. I'm using the thumb and middle for that. That's another thing with the right hand. What else? What else? Haven't got to the pick yet. You can do so much without a pick. And I find that newbies or novice players, their right hand's their weakest link, and it's always they grab a pick and it gets hung up in the strings, and then their meter or rhythm gets off. But I find as soon as they drop the pick and try this up the neck wrist style, fingernail thumb wrist thing, and their timing and tempo gets a lot better. So I always encourage everyone to not have the pick. Or if you're like me, you play with a pick, you just palm it. You can just stick it right between the first two fingers, and now I'm doing that. And then if I want to use the pick, I'm back with the pick. And that's a whole nother little lesson too. I'm not sure how much time you get on video for Facebook when you load it. Can you put an hour on there? I don't know. I'm going to find out. I am going to find out. Let's see. Oh, I need to talk about what they call three-finger banjo style on guitar. It's a great way to do all kinds of stuff, and it's easier because it's only three fingers. Let's say we're doing, well, what kind of songs do it? We all know Blackbird. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. That's a three-finger claw style. Clapton's Tears in Heaven. Oh, sorry. If I can get it right. Oh. See if I can get that right. So you can see I'm just using thumb and these two fingers. Oh, I know one that would work with it would be Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac. It's got that thumb alternating, and just these two fingers are picking it. You do a lot of things up the neck like that. I added the fourth finger to get the high E, but other than that, you can see that F chord is just three fingers there. And I did just use three fingers. I'm going to have to come up with something applied other than that. I don't know. What do I use it for? Well, I have some exercises to get you using three-finger claw style. I have you do, what do I do? Yeah, you can take a D chord and just use the first three strings, thumb, pointer, middle. And then here's a D shape. You do a six, what I call a sixie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let it float, right? Here we go. Then D major 7, which is finger across three strings, and then D7. Then lift your first finger. That's what it sounds like. also do that on the inside strings anywhere. Let's say at the 5th fret, we do this F shape, go to an A minor shape, a D shape, and then first finger down a fret. And just repeat. You can also do it like in this, what they call minor to minor major 7 to minor 7 to minor 6. And it sounds like this. You've heard it in a lot of songs. You can even go further. The point is, I'm still just using these 3 fingers, and I'm anchoring. If you can see, my pinky and my ring finger have this indentation. You can see it in my ring finger there. That's because I'm taking my pinky and my ring and I'm gripping them on that high E string. I mean, really gripping it so I can get this resistance to get this coordination going with these 3 fingers. So keep that in mind too. That I'm doing, even if I'm doing Blackbird, I've got them anchored there on the high E string, and you can see that indentation there if you can get a close look at it. Maybe puts a where I'm gripping the string. Green Day, they use that 3-chord, 3-claw, what I call the banjo claw style, 3-finger on "Wake Me Up When September Ends." Let's see if I can remember how that goes. Oh yeah, they do it on a G chord. So you take your 3rd finger and put it at the 5th fret, 3rd string. 3rd finger, 5th fret, 4th string. Then you got the open 3rd string, which is a G, and then your 1st finger on the D. It sounds like this. Then you could have 2nd finger as a helper on that, behind that 3rd finger, and lift and go to the 2nd finger. And practice just that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just pause and let this chord just float out there for a moment. That's one way to practice that 3-chord claw style to get coordinated with it. It's real important. So many songs use that banjo claw style. Here's another way. It's the same thing as the inside strings. You do a F shape or a 1, 2, 3 finger like that. Then an A minor shape. Then a D chord shape. And then the 1st finger's just put down another fret. So here it is again. That's 5, 6, and 7, and fingers 1 thumb pointer middle. And I'm not touching these on the high E because I'm using it now. My ring and my pinky, they're just anchoring on the body to give me that leverage. Maybe you don't use those anchored. Not everybody does. I'm not anchoring them now. Now here they are anchored again. You've heard things like that in songs. Of course, the minor major 7 again. Comes maybe from Stairway to Heaven. What's that song? Can't think of it. It's an old jazz standard. Somewhere, what's that Leon Russell song? Masquerade. It does a minor major 7, minor 7 is just one finger across all 4, or all 3 in this case, the 3 inside ones. And then a minor 6. Clapton's song does it in F sharp, Bell Bottom Blues in the middle. Oh Yeah, Como Va does it. Right, that, and before it does the dun 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 dun, it's just strokes through it. How's it? Like that. Something like that, very similar. Let's say Soul Man. What's that song? Brown Eyed Girl and Soul Man. They all use these second and third finger, or first and second, with a string in between them. Think your C chord. Everyone knows C chord. There's so many chords that C's your mother chord to start with. There's so many chords that have 1 and 2 with a string in the middle, open in between them. So I got a C chord. I take finger 3 away. I'm using the 3-finger banjo claw style, and I'm just playing 3 strings. String 4, string 3, and string 2. Then I put my 3rd finger down. Still got that open G. So many chords that come from C. You think, well, D minor's not C, but it is. If I take C and move it here and tuck my 3rd finger, now I got D minor. Well, D minor also has a string in between fingers 1 and 2. So that gets me back to, like, let's say Brown Eyed Girl. I go on up here and do a C at the 8th fret, but just play the thumb and middle finger now, and play just not the open string. If you play the open, it's not right. You're just going to play 2 strings and just go. Notice the next chord is 2 fingers 2 and 3 on the same fret with a string in between them. Then move to the next string, 2 strings, then back. And you've got the little intro to Brown Eyed Girl. Let's say it's Soul Man. Soul Man is just what they're called sixths, if you want to get some theory in there. Major sixths. I hope that didn't slur that too much. Here's Soul Man with 2nd finger and 3rd finger and a string in between. They're called major sixths, if you want to have some theory behind all these things. Their distance of the first note, the next note up is a 6th away, or 6 notes away. A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 notes away. Soul Man's got that. But a lot of songs, blues songs in like, you see, they're using that 6th. Soul Man is something like, right? Just using that same 6th. The Janis Joplin song uses 6th in it. Another Little Piece of My Heart starts out. These country guys, they'll get what they call hybrid. They use the pick in the middle for that. See, I'm stroking with the pick and plucking with my pull-up stroke with my middle finger. I don't do a lot of that. I know the technique, but I don't do a lot of it. I just palm the pick if I got a pick, and just do. Now it's like I'm holding the pick with these 2, and I'm still using my thumb and middle. Or I'll use this up backward stroke with the pick. Maybe I should do hybrid. I can, sometimes I do, but I usually shy away from it. So those are 6th, all